Hi, good evening everyone. Good evening. Evening everyone. Welcome to the ABM marathon. Very important marathon, right? Good evening everyone. Everyone okay? You all guys are now it's almost the high time, right? Exams are when? This just 2 days after that's my so start studying immediately. See here. By now you all might have started studying, isn't it? Started means some of you might have started. Those who are in the class might have already completed the studies, isn't it? So let's start over here without wasting the time. Let's start immediately. Okay, you all guys able to hear me? Hi, you all guys are able to hear me? One sec, let me see. Hi, yeah, able to hear me now? Type yes in the comment section. Yeah, good evening, good evening, good evening. Chalo, let's start. So we'll start immediately without wasting the time, and immediately we'll solve the questions. See here. So first one, what I'll be doing here, I'll be covering module A and C, and Suprava ma'am will be covering B and D. Okay, I'll be covering up to 8 p.m. Afterwards she'll be covering. Okay, so it's a huge power pack session now. Okay, so let's start immediately. See here, even you all guys are busy right now because of the heavy workload as well as heavy examination studies. Okay, so immediately let's start. Okay, a school wants to examine whether the extra classes being conducted for poor students are benefiting the students in terms of better scoring in the exam or not in general. This can be examined using, so what is the answer? Correlation, regression, standard error, and it is not possible to estimate. So what do you think should be the answer over here for this? Good evening everyone. Good evening Harsha, good evening Kara Sivarao, Pragati, good evening Shailendra, good evening Kumar, good evening everyone. Hi, good evening. So without wasting the time, we are immediately jumping on to the topic. Okay, so what is the answer now? What is the answer? The school wants to know. Remember, see here, whenever I'll give the question, I'll give you the explanations also for this. See here, the answer is what? Yes, A, correlation. थोड़ा दूर कीजिए. ओके, थोड़ा आपको ये हो रहा है. ओके, correlation. Okay, so the answer is correlation. Now what is correlation? Remember one important part. Whenever we speak of correlation, what are we doing actually? We are comparing two objects. Remember, two objects or two things. I'll just give you in simple. Two things we are comparing. Always remember, correlation compares two things. Either it's, let's say, any rate of interest, means bond rate of interest, bond rate versus bond price. So these are the two things, bond price. Okay, or repo versus inflation. Anything can be, but remember, in correlation we always compare two things. Even if we have multiple things, then also we bring them to two. Okay, so that is correlation. Second one is same one. Look at this. Now the question is similar one. Good evening. Yeah, thanks sir, thanks. A school wants to predict here. Now look at I have deliberately brought these two questions together. Deliberately. Look at this. First question and second question seem to be the same. Wants to examine whether extra class blah blah blah. Now the second, school wants to predict the number of students who may be getting better score in the examination when they are given extra class. Now what are we comparing? Number of students. So number of students means what? It's not 2, it's more than 2. So whenever we have more than 2, do we use correlation? So what is the answer over here? Yeah, correct. Temperature and versus ice. That's also right. Temperature versus ice. That's for correlation. So here the answer will be regression. Why? Because here we are comparing more than 2. Whenever we are comparing, yeah, sure, yeah. Acing exams, very good. Yeah, you'll surely clear this. See this. I'll always tell you, you'll definitely clear. You all guys, You will definitely clear it. Follow this marathon thoroughly, follow the videos taken thoroughly, and follow the PDFs which I have shared, okay, handouts. Definitely follow them out, okay. Chalo, see here. So again, coming back to the point, whenever you are carrying out regression, regression means more than 2, okay. It can be anything. See here, more than 2. For example, suppose I gave you first example. What was that first example? Repo versus inflation, okay. Now if I have to compare repo versus, this is repo versus, I have to compare more than 2 things, means inflation, then I have to compare, let's say, GDP, then I have to compare, let's say, job data, jobs, okay. So when I have to compare more than 2 elements, then I'll be using regression. Clear? Let's move on. A scatter diagram. Now we are tackling with the simple problems, then we'll be going towards the tougher ones, okay. A scatter diagram as a technique used in correlation is undertaken. So what is this scatter diagram? Scatter diagram means simple. See this is x and y, this is x axis, this is y axis, and these all points which I plot over here, these are known as scatter diagram. So what is this scatter diagram? Look at the options. By plotting horizontal lines, there are no lines, okay. By plotting points, yeah, this seems to be the right answer. By plotting points on the graph paper and then drawing lines linking to these points. That's correct. Main point in scatter diagram is these points, and then we link. Then what do we do? From this scatter diagram, what do? We just try to draw a single line, and this line is known as regression line. Regression line, okay. And then these points which are away, this is known as deviation. This difference is known as deviation, okay. Let me expand this. See this. Here you will be able to see this. See this. This is scatter diagram. Then the line which we draw in between is known as regression line. Then the difference between the points from this line is known as deviation. Then when I add all these deviations and divide it by the number of elements, understand, again what am I telling you, understand. When I add all these deviations and I divide it by the number of elements, I get standard deviation. So what is standard deviation? Adding all these deviations here. One more important point in this deviation and standard deviation. Everyone pay attention. Very important point. Whatever is above this line is taken as plus. Whatever is below this line is taken as minus. So always remember this. Suppose if I use plus 5, plus 7 over here, and here it is minus 3. So my total will be what? Plus 5, plus 7, minus 3. So 7 plus 5, 12, minus 3, 9. 9 divided by how many elements? 3 elements. So my standard deviation will be 9 upon 3. So it becomes 3. Everyone got this? Very important. See here, this question is not only that important. See here, otherwise what happens? Suppose if I just take this point, okay, B, move on to the next. It's of no use. What I want is, you must understand this scatter diagram, you must understand this standard deviation, you must understand this regression line, you must understand these points. That is very important. Okay, so everyone got this? Shall we move ahead? Type yes if you have understood. Got this point? What is standard deviation? What is regression? Theoretically you must understand the concept as such. Okay, chalo, move on. Type yes. Okay, next one. Chalo, hold on. Yeah. The value of correlation R always falls between, so it falls between what? Everyone, let me see. Am I not visible properly? One sec. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now answer me. Yeah. So now tell me, the value of correlation R always falls between what? 0 to 1, 1 to 100, minus 1 to 1, and minus 1 to 0. So it is correct. Minus 1 to 1. R always lies between minus 1 to 1. When R equals to minus 1, remember R equals to minus 1, it means what? When r equals to minus 1, it means perfectly negative. Perfectly. Okay, perfectly negative. Okay. When r equals to 0, no correlation. No, we'll be solving a numerical now. Don't worry. Correlation, no correlation. When r equals to plus 1, then it is perfectly positive. Okay, then it is perfectly positive. So always remember, r should always be between minus 1 to plus 1. Okay, now it can be between point minus 7 also, plus 0.7 also, but it can't be 1.2, it can't be minus 1.2, it can't be less than 1, it can't be more than 1. Okay, now before going ahead, everyone subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. Everyone, I'll be reminding you constantly now. Okay, every after 5 minutes I'll be reminding you, because I've seen many of you watch it, you like it, but you don't subscribe to this. Subscribe to this channel immediately. Subscribe, click on the bell icon. Okay, chalo, now let's solve this numerical. This numerical is very important now. Okay, so let's solve this numerical. You are given the following data. What is this data? Demand in quintals and price in rupees. Okay, so find r and find y equals to a plus bx, that is regression line. So demand and price are given to you. Okay, so you have to find out this r. Firstly, r means this numerical is of correlation and regression. Very important. Be sure about it that in the exam you will get one numerical on this. Be sure about it. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so find r. So how to find r? First, what you have to do is, here I have taken simple figures over here so that understanding the concept is important to you. Okay, by looking at the data itself, here before going ahead, by looking at the data itself, you must be able to understand something. So what is the data given? Look at this. If I take this as x and this as y, so what is x, what is y? Always remember, x is always independent variable. Always and always and always, x will always be independent. Okay, and y will always be dependent. Reverse. Okay, so y will always be dependent. Always remember, x will always be independent, y will always be dependent. Never forget this in your life. Okay, so now if you look at x, what is going on? See this, x is decreasing, 6, 5, 4, 2, decreasing. Okay, and if you look at y, what is happening? 5, 7, 9, 11, it's going on increasing. So by just looking at the data itself, you should be able to understand something, that x is going in negative direction, y is going in positive direction. So what does it mean? It means they might be opposite. So here we should be able to grasp the answer, roughly the answer. Okay, so how to solve this? So this, for solving this numerical, you have to draw tables. What are these tables? I'll draw it over here. Let's see. First you draw x. Everyone take pen, pencil and calci in your hands. Everyone do it fast. First take pen, pencil and calci in your hands. Okay, chalo. Then y. After y, everyone start yourself, find x square, then y square. Everyone pay attention, it's very important. 5 marks are sure for you in exam on this. Be sure about this, because there is no exam in CAIIB ABM where you don't have a correlation problem. There is no exam. Okay, so let's write down first. Then it's 6, then what, 5, then what, 4, then 2. Okay, and then y is what, 5, then 7, then 9, and then 11. Okay, now see the steps. First you have to find out x square, y square and xy. So x square is what, 6 square. In exam you might get double digit figures. In exam you might get double digit figures. So be prepared with your calci, pen and paper. In exam you have to solve it yourself. Okay, generally they give you only 4 numbers, 4 to 5, not more than 4 to 5 numbers. Okay, okay, yeah. So just tell me this. Now 6 square is what? Everyone, 6 square is 36. Okay, now these are simple ones. I'll just solve it. Okay, 5 square is 25. Everyone do the total by then. Do the total, everyone. One sec. Do the total. 4 square is 16. Then what? 2 square is 4. Then next 5 square is 25. See this, we are doing y square now. 25. Then 49. Are you getting this? What is this 49? 49 is 7 square. Okay, 49 is 7 square. Is it okay now? Yeah. Then 9 square is 81. Then 11 square is 121. Okay, yeah. Now xy, 6 5s are 30. Remember, 6 5s are 30. Then 7 5s are 35. Multiply this here. Take pencil, calci in your hands. 9 4s are 36. Then 11 2s are 22. Understanding the concept is important. Everyone is getting this? X, y, x square, y square, xy. Now once you have done this, do the total. There are 2 steps remaining now. 2 steps. One is this total. So the total, I'll write it over here. Total. Okay. And next one is average. Both the things are required. Remember, there is no escape for this. Average. Average. Okay. So it is this. So what is the total of this? Everyone? R is 0.9. Oh, good, Sushma, you have found out already. What is the total of x now? 6 plus 5, 11 plus 4, 15 plus 2, 17. Okay, 17. What is the total of y? 7 plus 5, 12 plus 9, 21, 21, 31, 32. Right? 32. Now this I'll have to do it on calc. Even this much brains or this much fastness we don't have. In fact, we are so busy over here that we many times do the wrong calculations. So in exam also, remember, everyone, don't overestimate yourself. Do everything on calci. Never try to do some difficult numericals or difficult calculations by hand, okay, or without calci. Never ever do that, because we are in such a different mood that we solve something else, write something else. So do it on calci. Okay, so answer is 81, right? Answer is 81 over here. 81. What about this y square? Again do it. Y square, 25 plus 49, 25 plus 49 plus 81 plus 121. 121. Remember, this numerical you will see it in the exam. Not the same numbers, but numerical you will see it in the exam. Okay, 276. Got it? Then xy, total of xy now, 30 plus 35. Oh, again calci. No, never overestimate yourself. 30 plus 35 plus 36 plus 32. So it is 133. 133. Now do the average. Average of all of them. Do the average of all of them. Yeah. Average of everyone is 17 upon 4. Upon 4. Okay, so it is 4.25. 4.25. Then 32 upon 4, 8. 81 upon 4, something 20 point. Now this much we can do it. 20.25. Okay, 276 upon 4. Now this again calci, right? 276 upon 4. Everyone try yourself. Those who have done it, very good. Okay, 69. And 133 upon 4. 133 upon 4. So it is 33.25. 33.25. Okay, yeah. So everyone has got this. Yeah. What is this? 123. Oh, have I done some mistake? Let me see, because calculations is always, that's what I said, we always make mistakes. Everyone, not only me, everyone makes mistakes in these calculations. Let me check if I have done so. plus what? 22. Oh, I took 32. Correct. 123. It is 123. Good. Good, yeah. 123. Good one. Yeah. Everyone, thanks. So 123 upon 4. So what is 123 upon 4? 30.75. Okay, let me remove this. 30.75. Okay. Let's move on fast. Okay. So 30.75. Let's move on. Hold on. 30.75. Now move on next. Immediately. Once you complete this, immediately move on to. Hold on. Immediately you move on to finding. Now 3 steps are remaining. 1. Vx, variance of x. Then variance of y. Then covariance of xy. These 3 steps are the basics. What is variance of x? Summation of x square upon n minus x bar square. Okay. Summation of x square upon n minus x bar square. Okay. So do it now. Everything you are having it. See this summation of x square upon n. See this over here. You are having it 20.25. So 20.25. This, what is this 20.25? 20.25 is summation of x square upon n. We have found out the average. So 20.25. Do it. 20.25 minus what is x bar? X bar was 4.25. 4.25 square. 4.25 square. So find the answer. It is 20.25 minus 4.25 square. 20.25 minus 4.25 square. So it is 2.18. So 2.18. Similarly now y square. Find out y square. Everyone be fast now. Variance of y. Find out variance of y. Summation y square upon n means 69. 69 minus 8 square, 64, right? So it is 5, right? Now we have found out Vx, Vy. Immediately find standard deviation, psi x. Standard deviation is square root of variance of x. Variance of x. So what is square root? Variance of x was what? 2.18. Square root of 2.18. Okay? So equals to 2.18 square root. 2.18 and then square root. So it is 1.47. So 1.48 I'll take it because 479 it is, right? So 1.48 psi x I got it. Similarly psi y now psi y. What is psi y? Square root of 5. What is square root of 5? 5 and square root. 5 and square root. So it is 2.23. I'll write it over here. 2.23. We'll take it to the next page now. Okay? 2.23. So now let's find out this covariance on the next page. So covariance of xy equals to covariance of xy equals to, what is the formula? Covariance of xy. Same, see this. How to remember this formula? That is also important trick. Only remember one formula. Variance of x, summation x square upon n minus x bar square. Variance of y, same. Just put y in place of x. Summation y square upon n minus y bar square. And covariance of xy, that is also same. Just instead of x square, you put xy everywhere. Wherever you have, you put it x square xy. So it will be summation of xy upon n minus x bar dot y bar. Okay. So now this also we have. Everything we are having it. So summation xy upon n, see this 30.75. Okay. So 30.75. 30.75 minus what is x bar? X bar is 4.25. What is y bar? 8. So 4.25 into 8. Okay. So x bar dot y bar. Everyone, this is x bar dot y bar. So 4.25 into 8. Everyone got this? Clear up till here? Type yes if you are clear up till here, because remember this is a 5 marks question. It's not that simple. If you miss out on this in exam also, you will face the same problem then. So do the calculations now. 30.75 minus 4.28 into 8. 4.25 into 8. So it is minus 3.25. So it is minus 3.25. Okay, getting this? Okay, your class you are having tomorrow also, Bhanuchand, yeah, BFM, na? Yeah. So got this covariance. Now immediately find out R, and here your one numerical gets over. So R is what? Covariance of xy upon psi x psi y. Okay, covariance of xy upon psi x psi y. So it is minus 3.25 upon what is psi x? Psi x we have just now found out. See this, 1.48, and what is psi y? 2.23. So 1.48 into 2.23. So now do it. So minus 3.25 upon what is that? 1.48. So this upon means into in the denominator. So it is 2.23. Yeah, 2.23. So it is minus 0.98 minus 0.98. So this is my R. Correct. Very good. So this is my R. Once you get this R, it means what? See here, R is almost equal to 1, minus 1. So it is perfectly negative. Perfectly negative. Okay, perfectly negative, because it's almost equal to 1, isn't it? Now one case study of yours is over. You will get one case study up to 5 for 5 marks over here. How will they divide the 5 marks? See this, they will divide the 5 marks, 1 mark for this variance, 1 mark for this variance of y, 1 mark for both of these, psi x, psi y. Both of these combined 1 mark, 3 marks done. 4th mark will be for covariance, and 5th mark will be for R. This is the way 5 marks will be divided. Okay, this is the way 5 marks will be divided. Now next step, see this, very important case study. Now this is another case study for 5 marks in the same topic. Okay, once you find out R, you have to find out the equation y equals to a plus bx. This is what you have to find out now. So how to find out this? Y equals to a plus bx. See this, first find out b. How to find out b? B is the same formula, only slight difference. So covariance xy upon variance of x. Look at this. Okay, covariance xy upon variance of x. So what was that? Minus 3.25 upon variance of x was what? Variance of x was over here. What was that? 2.18, right? 2.18. 2.18. So it is, what is the answer now? 3 minus 3.25. 3.25 upon 2.18. So it becomes 1.49. So minus 1.49 minus 1.49. Okay. Yeah. So x is, which one x? It's always average. Whatever I have taken is this average only. Okay. We always require the average. That's why we have done this table first. This table is the most important table. First, after finding the total, immediately find the average. Never miss out on average. Okay. Chalo. Next one. So B is done. Now A. What you do? Instead of this equation, put y bar equals to a plus b x bar. See this, y bar equals to a plus b x bar. Okay, so you know both the values now. Y bar also you know, x bar also you know, b also you know. See, this is b, minus 1.49. So once you know, you just put the values. What is y bar? Y bar is 8. 8 equals to a, you don't know, a, b you know, minus 1.49 into what is x bar? X bar is 4.25, right? 4.25. So do the calculations now. So you find out a. What is a then? Y a equals to, it will be 8 plus 1.49 into, what is the next one? Into 4.25. 4.25. So it is 14.33. A equals to 14.33. So now you have got it. So you get y equals to 14.33. Is it 1.71? 14.33 minus 1.49 into x. This is your second equation. Okay, yeah. So what is this y bar? Okay, y bar, always remember x bar and y bar, we substitute it in this equation. It's x bar, not x. Okay, x bar means average. We always take the average of this. See this average 4.25 over here and 8 over here. Okay, we always take the average, never miss out on this, because why? It's y bar means average, x bar means average. So here your numerical almost ends. But sometimes what do? They ask you something else.